Hi, I'm Steve Younis. Welcome to the Speeding Bulletin news video, recapping all the Superman news that took place during the week of January 22nd to January 28th, 2016. Our top news stories this week included a new Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice poster asks fans to pick a side, Tom Welling talks about whether he'd play Superman on Supergirl, and we interviewed Sterling Gates about the new Adventures of Supergirl comic book series. Let's check out these stories and more in this week's Speeding Bulletin. In movie news, Warner Bros. Has officially announced that the first Justice League movie will be released on November 17th, 2017. Starring Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, Ray Fisher and Ezra Miller, Justice League will be directed by Zack Snyder and will follow on from Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Additionally, Warner Bros. Also announced that the Wonder Woman movie will see its theatrical release on June 23rd, 2017. A new Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice poster asks fans to pick a side, Batman or Superman. Tweet hashtag Batman or hashtag Superman or both to unlock brand new themed emojis. Described as the final poster for the film, the image shows Superman and Batman facing one another with a red version of the movie logo in the background. Additionally, a new TV spot aired during the AFC Championship in the USA this week. Check it out.
This Bat Vigilante, it's like a one-man reign of terror. The press has to do the right thing.
You don't get to decide what the right thing is. Nobody cares about Clark Kent taking on the Batman.
Next time they shine your light in the sky, don't go to it. The Bat is dead. Bury it.
Rated PG-13.
Soon after, Warner Bros. Released yet another TV spot for the film. This one concentrates on Bruce Wayne's views on Superman as he discusses the danger Superman poses with Alfred.
You're gonna go to war. He's the one that brought the war to us. Count the dead. Thousands of people. What's next? Millions. He has the power to wipe out the entire human race, and if we believe there's even a 1% chance that he is our enemy, we have to take it as an absolute certainty. And we have to destroy him.
Rated PG-13.
Turkish Airlines announced that they are the official airline sponsor of Batman v Superman. The deal was announced on Monday in Istanbul at a press conference where a THY plane painted with the emblems of the two superheroes was showcased. The announcement also saw the release of a special promo video, which features similar footage released at Comic-Con, but it does include some new footage of Gal Gadot as Diana Prince on board a Boeing 777 THY plane. Empire unveiled the two different standard Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice covers for their March 2016 edition of their magazine. The subscriber-exclusive version of the Empire magazine features a Batman v Superman cover drawn by Jim Lee. Empire also released high-res versions of images that appear inside their magazine's feature article on the movie, with fans speculating on whether Doomsday is really the big bad guy of Batman v Superman. One of the new images from the March 2016 edition of the Empire magazine has everyone talking about Darkseid. The image sees Batman looking out across a nightmare scene with a destroyed city in the distance, and the Omega symbol, Darkseid's insignia, imprinted on the barren landscape in the middle ground. Empire also interviewed Henry Cavill and spoke to him about returning to the role of Superman after Man of Steel and where his character is at when we first see him in this new film. Henry explains he's more used to this gig, doing his best to save as many lives as he can. He's no longer frantic, he's no longer a wet behind the ears kind of superhero. The March 2016 edition of Empire magazine hit newsstands on Thursday, January 28th. Iron Studios unveiled their Batman v Superman limited edition statues of Batman and Superman. Manufactured in polystone, these statues are hand-painted and stand approximately 7.5 inches tall with the base. The statues are priced at $339.99 Brazilian real, approximately $82 US, and are scheduled to be released in the first half of the year. Dr. Pepper is yet another company involved in tie-in promotions with Batman v Superman. Their movie-themed products feature Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Lex Luthor and Lois Lane, while the 20-ounce bottles offer a free prequel comic book written by Christos Gage with art by Joe Bennett. A different character is featured across different chapters in the book, including Lois Lane and Senator Finch. LEGO has officially released a TV spot to promote their line of Batman v Superman playsets. Featuring Superman, Batman and Wonder Woman, the short video sees Lois Lane being held hostage by Lex Luthor. LEGO also released a promotional poster image celebrating the upcoming release of Batman v Superman in their own style. The release of the poster image was timed to coincide with the company's announcement that upcoming LEGO DC Comics superhero sets will include versions of Superman, Batman and Wonder Woman based on the designs of their characters from the movie. IGN.com has the official trailer for the upcoming animated movie Justice League vs. Teen Titans. Arriving in the second quarter of 2016, Justice League vs. Teen Titans sees Robin working with the Teen Titans after his volatile behaviour botched a Justice League mission. The young team then must really step up to face Trigon after he possesses the League and threatens to conquer the world. There's also an 11-minute featurette for the upcoming animated movie on the DVD Blu-ray release of Batman Bad Blood, which leaked online before being removed from Warner Brothers. In TV news, the cast of Supergirl will be attending a special Q&A panel during the 2016 Paley Fest in LA in March. The Paley Center for Media will host the Supergirl panel during the festival, set to take place from March 11th to March 20th at the Dolby Theatre in Hollywood. The panel for Supergirl will take flight on Sunday, March 13th at 7 p.m. Pacific Time. Purchase tickets for this event at Ticketmaster.com. This week's new episode of Supergirl was titled Strange Visitor from Another Planet, and Superman homepage reviewer T.A. Hewitt submitted his review of this episode, giving it a 4 out of 5 rating, saying, "From cliffhanger to cliffhanger, Supergirl keeps up the pace set by last episode, with a neat trimming of subplots to allow for Hank Henshaw, who has had excellent scenes since returning from hiatus, and his as yet unveiled history as a Green Martian." CBS released a promo video from the 12th episode of Season 1 of Supergirl. Titled Bizarro, Kara faces off against her mirror image when Bizarro, a twisted version of Supergirl, sets out to destroy her. Also, Kara grows closer with Kat's son, Adam. This episode is scheduled to air on CBS in the USA on Monday, February 1st at 8 p.m. Ever since Smallville concluded in 2011, there's been speculation on whether Tom Welling would return to the role in some form or fashion. In a recent interview with BuzzFeed.com, Tom spoke about his time on Smallville and expressed his feelings on seeing so many good superhero shows on TV at the moment. What didn't make the interview's final edit was the question of whether Tom would appear as Superman on the Supergirl TV series. Interviewer Jarrett Wieselman posted Tom's answer on Twitter. Tom said, "There's people who would like it, there's people who don't like it, but I'll tell you that no one has ever actually asked me to do it, so I don't know. It would be kind of odd. I don't know who he is at that point. He would obviously be Superman." In comic book news, in a new interview with DC All Access, writer Gene Luen Yang spoke about Superman number 48 and how kryptonite will help Superman in his quest to get his powers back.
Going into 48 is actually part of a larger storyline that again runs through all of the Superbooks. It's called Savage Dawn, and Superman finally faces the man who's been behind all of these losses that he's experienced.
DC Entertainment co-publishers Jim Lee and Dan Didio have tweeted an image of a blue curtain with the words Rebirth across it, which has led to the speculation that DC Comics is set to once again reset or relaunch its comic book titles with new number ones in June. According to BleedingCool.com, word is that the publisher is looking to focus their line with Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn Suicide Squad. In other words, the properties dominating their big screen universe. I'm sure DC Comics will make an announcement fairly soon, so watch this space. DC Comics has unveiled the artwork by artist Kim Young-gi, which form a triptych of variant covers depicting the epic battle scene involving Superman, Wonder Woman and Batman. The artwork will feature across Wonder Woman number 49, Superman Wonder Woman number 26 and Justice League Darkseid War Special number 1, all being released in February. Sterling Gates participated in an exclusive interview with the Superman homepage to discuss his new Adventures of Supergirl comic book series. He said, "I was floored and frankly humbled that people remembered my work on the Girl of Steel fondly enough to reach out and ask if I'd be interested in writing new Supergirl stories." Check out the complete interview at the Superman homepage website. With issue number 4 of Superman, Lois and Clark out this week, writer Dan Jurgens spoke with Newsarama about where things are at for our heroes, how the New 52 Earth is different for them, and what it means for them now that this Earth's Clark Kent has been outed as Superman. He said for them this is a very distressing development. It's even more unthinkable because that world's Lois is the one who outed Clark as Superman. Dan Jurgens also mentioned that Rebirth, the mysterious event set to shake up the entire line of books published by DC Comics, will impact on Superman, Lois and Clark. Comic books we reviewed this week included Superman Wonder Woman number 25, which was reviewed by Adam DeChannel, who gave it a 5 out of 5, calling it beautifully written. And T.A. Hewitt reviewed Injustice Year 5, Chapter 5, saying this installment moves better than the last, which isn't saying very much, but it's an improvement nonetheless, and he gave it a 1 out of 5. Superman comics available this week from January 27th include Adventures of Supergirl Chapter 1 digital comic has been available since January 25th, as has Injustice Year 5 Chapter 6 digital comic, Justice League 3001 number 8, Justice League of America number 7, which is available in an adult colouring book variant cover, Superman number 48, which is also available in an adult colouring book variant cover, Superman Lois and Clark number 4, it's also available in an adult colouring book variant cover, DC Comics Bombshells Chapter 28 digital comic will be available January 29th, Supergirl Volume 1 The Girl of Steel trade paperback, and Superman Secret Identity Deluxe Edition hardcover. It's the ultimate superhero showdown in Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, and Hot Wheels are getting in on the action. Get this Hot Wheels Batman v Superman 2-pack for just $7.99. Or how about the Hot Wheels Batman v Superman track set, yours for just $19.99. These and other great Batman v Superman Hot Wheels collectibles are available from the one-stop Superman shop, the Superman homepage online store at supermanhomepage.com/shop. In other news, episode 133 of Radio KAL, the monthly podcast of the Superman homepage, is now available to listen to. In this month's podcast, Scotty and I discuss the new Batman v Superman TV spots, Zack Snyder on Conan, the DC Films Presents Dawn of the Justice League special, Batman v Superman soundtrack, in-theatre concessions, the Justice League vs. Teen Titans animated movie, the latest Supergirl episodes, all the latest Superman comic books, and much more. Check it out at supermanhomepage.com/radio. And that's all the news there was for the week January 22nd to January 28th. I'm Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com.
Great Scott. Great Scott. Great Scott.
Hello everyone and welcome to a fabulous episode of Great Scott. I'm Scotty V. Thanks for watching Superman. I've got a bit of a bone to pick with you. Listen to me. I've been defending you because from the beginning, when the first TV spot was released, you stood there in all your glory as the Batmobile came flying around the corner, and my impression was that you had either landed in front of Batman to try and stop him, or that he was trying to run you down with his car and you just stood there to show him that his weapons couldn't hurt you. Not that a car needs to be a weapon, and it's probably a bad idea for the insurance companies to know that that's what Batman is using it for. But now, I heard people saying in the beginning, right away, Superman kicked it. And I didn't see that part. I thought in the first spot they didn't show that. It just bounced off your chest. But now, the more times I see it and the more times they've had other spots where they develop that scene a little more, Superman does lift his legs. So, is he kicking? Is he just deflecting? Did he land there in front of Batman because he wanted to show him who was boss? And here's the thing. I don't want to defend Batman, and now they got this whole Twitter thing going around, who will win, and it's got Batman standing there like this, and it's got Superman standing there like that, and they're facing off against each other, and we all know, as Superman fans, and even Batman fans deep down in their heart know, that if Superman decided in that stare down to just activate his heat vision, or use that leg the same way he used it on the Batmobile, or punch him in the head, or Batman would just be a speck of dust. But since Superman doesn't do that, as we fans already know, and as general audiences now know, because he says in the preview, stay down, if I wanted it, you'd be dead already. Not really a Superman-y thing to say, but it does get across the point that if at any point Batman is able to either equal Superman, or they're able to beat each other to submission to where they give up and nobody dies, or nobody loses, or nobody wins, it'll be because Superman allowed it to happen. Not because he wanted it to, but because he never went the full distance. He never got to the point where he would finally finish off Batman like he finished off Zod We've heard Zack Snyder say in the past that he needed to be pushed to that limit. He needed to kill Zod, not only because Zod was going to destroy the whole world, but because Superman needed to feel what it was like being forced to do that, and then realize that he never wanted to have to do it again, even if it was necessary. He would need to find another way, and that's one of the biggest complaints people had, that Superman would always find another way, no matter what. You know, when you watch the movie, you see that he's put into a position where he doesn't even do it until the very last second, when he has no choice, and it's between immediate innocent life or Zod, and he has to do it. People are now arguing, including Bruce Wayne, that thousands of people died in Metropolis because of Superman. Therefore, if anything, he maybe should have killed Zod sooner, then that wouldn't have happened. But he didn't get the chance, and when he did get the chance, he had to take it, because Zod had already said, it's going to be you or me, and if it's me, it'll be alright. If it's you, I'm going to destroy the whole world and kill everybody. So Superman couldn't let Zod get the upper hand. But I've already covered this. Now, what I want to say is, and I'm still on the side of Superman, there's a problem here, and I'll tell you what it is. To me, there is no win for Superman in this scenario. If Superman wins, then people just go, well, he's a bully, and he's picking on Batman, and he's got superpowers, so of course he should win. If Batman wins, then people go, what a pansy. Superman can't even beat a guy dressed as a bat, because Batman's way cooler, and we knew that going in. If it ends in a draw, then they go, Batman's the best, and he could draw. He could tie a god, a demigod, whatever you want to call him, a guy who's like a god, which means Superman's not that great. The only thing you do by having Batman and Superman fight each other is prove that Batman's just as good as Superman. And I know that that's what comic book creators and writers and Batman fans want to see, because they should all be on equal ground. You know, it's the Trinity. It's Batman, it's Superman, it's Wonder Woman, and they're all equal in one way or another, but they shouldn't all be equal in the same ways. I said this on this month's radio KAL, that since they've made Batman the super genius, that should be his superpower. And he has martial arts and stuff, but he shouldn't be able to physically best Superman, especially if they're going to make Superman the dolt of the bunch, which sometimes writers tend to do. I don't get that. It shouldn't go that way now, because we saw he's a pretty smart, logical, thinking man in Man of Steel. He shouldn't suddenly change. But in a lot of stories, like The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller, which some of the ideas in this movie were based on, he's really an idiot. He does stupid things, he says stupid things, and he acts like a fool. And Superman is not a fool, and he doesn't act stupid, and he doesn't say stupid things. But a lot of fans don't know that. But here's the problem. Nobody likes to be told what to do. Nobody likes to have their daily routine interrupted by some guy who wants to come down and say, look at me, I got a big S on my chest, you're retired now, don't do this again, go away, stop it, don't come to your light. The next time they shine it in the sky, the bat is dead, don't forget that. It's kind of like being a bully. Like, I am a demigod. I did stop a horde of Kryptonians who all had the same powers as me. I did save the world, and now I'm going to go around and tell everybody else what they're not allowed to do. I get the idea that it seems like, we haven't seen the movie, but they're putting it across that Clark has the idea, and somebody's torturing these people, that Batman is violating the civil rights of people, even if they're criminals, and he's sort of torturing them, branding them, burning them, hurting them. I'm guessing that we're going to find out it's Luthor manipulating the situation to make Superman think that or whatever, although I don't know why Lex would think that Superman would have that feeling, since at least part of the world seems to think he's a menace. But nobody likes, again, to be told what to do. If I was Batman, I'd be like, you know what? It's on, brother. And so I've heard people say maybe that's how the fight starts. Maybe he's not, when he says, he brought the fight to us, he could burn it all down. Maybe he's not just talking about what happened in Man of Steel. Maybe he's talking about the fact that Clark goes there, seeks him out, lands in front of his car, threatens him, tells him he can't be Batman anymore. And then Batman goes back to Alfred and says, he brought it to me, he said to me that I can't do what I do. Who is he to tell me I can't do what I do? Other than a bully who's threatening me to say, if you keep doing what you're doing, you know what I can do, so back off. I hope that's not the way it goes. I hope it comes from Batman doing something first, or Batman calling him out, or because really, to Superman, Batman is no threat. The only time it ends up becoming a threat is because Superman doesn't end it early enough, soon enough. Doesn't end it. Says, I'm going to keep knocking you down, you're just going to keep getting back up, but I could kill you if I wanted to. And then eventually Batman figures out a way to get him to fall down. And then says, know in your darkest hours that I'm the one who brought you to your... Yeah, but if I would have burned you to a crisp when I first saw you, you wouldn't have gotten to this point. So, you're welcome. Thanks, everybody, watching. And remember, March 25th is less than 2 months away.
I don't care. If I cared, I would say it to you. Strange.
Everything seems to be right. Home. And I've been working like a slob. It's been a hard day's night. I should be sleeping like a dog. Yeah.